2Inch need to figure out a way of flashing them out, smoking them out. No flashes, actually, from other teams, so that won't be a thing.
No, I like when there's no flashes, because I mainly hate when I play up against flashes. That's the only reason. That's my only notion there. I do like when there's no flashes, mainly because it really differentiates those who can initiate just based off of gunfire and basic utility from those that need those flashes to push themselves through. Seems like 2Inch just need themselves, at least on towards the A side. The headhunter popped around towards Acid, does not land a shot though. 3 headhunter shots remain. Isaac looking to hold that cross, but Sexy just straight through the wall. Does not care about the smoke-esque position. Finds the frag. Regardless, good positioning here from Leet. They do not have the man advantage just yet, but they have a lot of HP advantage. Numbnuts, lucky to be alive, is no longer.
Rotation of the way. The trademark's still active. Now the jig is up. Information is known. No presence on the A side either. Full rotation underway. Their own trademark from Choppa is there as well, so Leet's flank option will be alerted of. They're still going to be stacked up in mid. And should be able to make a good retake option happen pretty quickly.
They're rotating back towards B main, thinking that multiple people are rotating here, when that's just not the case. You have Fireballs waiting on that flank, maybe trying to fake the fact that they've all gone towards mid, which is almost certainly the case, just not entirely. Henry S could get caught with the timing here, should Fireball peek when they want to. Again, 3 headhunter shots still remain. Looking for this push, here is the defensive side. It works out to perfection. Timing goes their way, as does the defuse. Leet win their defensive pistol.
Very clean overall. Good timing on everything. Good work around the wall on the B site. Reason why people pick up the Sage is mostly for that. They drop the wall after the plant, or amongst the plant, I should say, and it would last there for nearly the entire timer, but despite closing down the angles that 2Inch, that Leet could challenge from, 2Inch just couldn't hold them well enough. Player advantage was strong. Shots just the same. Now the anti-eco for Elite. Stack up to B site. I like it when teams go and rotate around, try to play for other angles, but doing disadvantage. Might be a little bit too much to deal with. Oh, no cover from Say. Tried to, couldn't make it happen.
Say not expecting it. Always expect the unexpected. Y'all Say expects Acid close range. Hits the wall, bang headshot, leaving just the chamber in a 1v4. No, actually, that's the main reason we didn't see the Sage try and push through there. Say, maybe looking for the Spectre in that situation, but even then, here, I'd keep the Marshal, especially if I'm Say. Now, I'm not Say, but Say can aim. That's why you keep the Marshal.
Yeah, if I was Say, I'd definitely keep the Marshal, because, yep, that's my greatest weakness by far is aim ability.
I have that casting big brain, but, you know, I can't aim to save my life.
I spend so much time studying VODs and not practicing aim that go in the match and position perfectly, doing good comms, and then I miss every shot. Like, well, I guess I won't go Mortal. It's fine. I'll just never hit a shot. All good.
My gameplay consists of good comms and a decent bit of utility usage. That's all I've got.
Yeah, I'll IGL and comm and set my teammates who have great shots. I'll set them up, you know. It's kind of a strategy. Or go on a lurk and it's like a free kill because they have no idea I'm there. Because timing and map knowledge and VOD review and studying the game and basically mimicking what a lot of good players like the players of Leet and 2Inch are able to do. And Fireball able to get the first frag of this round. A nice lurk through kitchen that Leet has no idea about. It's going to be a big opportunity for that recon bolt. Like you have some idea of where 2Inch is looking to push towards.
Fireball's now aware of that possibility. The rotate around, Fireball has to reposition and does, catches the timing, but Numbnuts finds the kill. A 2-for-1 trade favoring the 2Inch side brings us right back to the even man count. Sexy moving in towards the defender spawn. Acid dropping the wall, perfectly timed as well. Looking to melee that is Sexy, but they're too late in doing so. It will break, but too late. That's the issue you run into if you're on this Leet side. Looking to grab a rifle as the Sage in towards the attacker spawn. Acid needs to heal themselves. Actually, heals Isaac Newton up towards 100. They finally start to get that spike down. Took them long enough to do so, but as they do, Momiji dies trying to deny it. Isaac Newton across towards Sexy, leaves Shen in a 1 versus 3. Finds the first, has to find the second, will not do so. 2Inch win the anti-bonus and do so in a decent fashion. Unfortunately, they only keep 2 players alive, so their economy is going to take a hit, while Leet will fully purchase.
Looks like it might be, I don't know if it's a visual bug or not, but it seems like stay disconnected. We'll see if a tech pause comes through or something of that sort. Hopefully that's not the case. They're not moving. Not sure. Tech pause, tech pause, tech pause.
Yes.
Yeah, there we go. There you go. There you go. Look at the amount of people still here. Group stages are still underway and finishing up right now for groups. I believe it's G and H. A lot of groups, man. A 32-team entrance tournament here, and 16 going on. That's where we're playing right now. Is the round 16 playoffs. Best of 3 is here. We'll have to see as the rest of the bracket comes through. We'll give some updates as we get them for sure.
Unfortunately, we don't have that many updates. The one update I was going to give throughout the entirety of this match was Enigma Alpha versus TMG. Yet they haven't finished their game, and groups G and H have just barely started. They're trying to get some of the pre-seeded round of 16 games done because, again, this is a West Coast venue, so it's only 7 p.m.
Yep.
At the position, but
Daylight.
it's 10:10 Eastern, so that's the main reason that we are moving on towards the best of 3s. Of course, groups G and H still going. They will continue throughout the night. So if you are somebody who is here to see Shazam, as I see all of you in Twitch chat, he is not going to be on stream.
Oh, he's actually playing right now, I'm pretty sure. But
Yes.
yeah, also it's a logistical thing. I mean, this is an awesome venue, very large. 32 teams, man. Multiply that by 5. That's the amount of setups you need. That is so many. That's insane. That's literally quick math, 165. So that's a crazy amount of PCs. And as you can see, there's not 165 PCs in here. So that's why we're trying to stagger and figure out a logistical way of making it all happen. But hey, man, we still get a lot of action. We're around like 9 hours, 8 to 9 hours of Valorant gameplay on the day. Tomorrow we get to have 3 best of 3s. I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm also looking forward to the end of the tech pause because I want to see just how well 2Inch can evolve basically today and figure out ways of adapting, as they're the ones on the back foot. They lost the first map of this best of 3 series, and so far it's looking really good for the side of Leets, but the gun round did go in the way of 2Inch. 2 alive though, like you said. Economy is not the most amazing. See if they can try to wrestle out a continuation of that momentum.
Continuing with that logistical question, or logistical conversation, I suppose. For all of you who are just joining us, here's the general format of the Fullerton LAN. We have 32 teams coming into the LAN. Of course, some have already left. We have 11 qualified teams and 11 teams that have been sent home in tandem. Now, the issue remains there are still 2 groups to play. It's 8 groups of 4 teams, double elimination, GSLs. You can Google what a GSL group is if you please. Usually it's used in tournaments just like this to get teams to qualify. Basically, double elimination. The top 2 move on. You have an upper and lower decider. That determines who moves on to the playoffs. Both of these teams have played in said deciders, one of them making it through the uppers. That was Leet up against Nixie's Breath. 2Inch moved on up against the Apollo Esports Kitten Wranglers, if I remember their name correctly. Yes, that was their name, Kitten Wranglers.
Oh, yeah.
No, I did not read that incorrectly. Outstanding name. Unfortunately, they were not able to move on to the playoffs. That's our current teams playing up against one another.
Yep.
Other notable teams moving on: Zero Marksman Black, you saw Nixie's Breath, who ended up losing to Leet. Tone Gaming, who dropped Rank G themselves. Illusion, who we saw in our previous game, 2 games prior. 2Tap, Rat Turtle Squad, Hawk Bold, who I think are amazing. Hawkbald, who I think are amazing. And then the E-Daters, as they should. They 15-13 Zenigma Alpha, who we saw in one of our games up against Fun Size Maniacs. That was a 13-10 win for Zenigma Alpha, and over top of Zenigma Alpha, E-Daters won 15-13 to send themselves as one of those top seeds, moving on to our round of 16 playoffs. Of course, again, for all of you who are just joining us in the middle of this conversation, Group G and H will happen off stream. Keep an eye on vlr.gg/event/1020 and, type out Nerd Street Gamers and all that fun stuff. Or do !bracket. But we're having some tech issues, and I have some unfortunate news. They will continue. Unfortunately, we cannot. We're going to send it to a break. When we come back, the continuation of Icebox here in the best of 3. Leet attempt to move on, and in that same right, you're trying to have them turn things back. We'll see you in a little bit. Welcome back to the Nerd Street Champs Fullerton LAN. It's a qualifying event to move on straight to the Nerd Street Champs Finals in August, but we're moving on and moving back into the game. They fixed our tech issues. We had a little bit of a PC issue, and we were still on that live cam. You could actually see Reno fixing a PC that was messed up. A little bit of an Annie pool around towards Choppa's face. You ever seen that, where the free cam observers like to go straight in somebody's face and just mess with them?
Oh yeah, it's very scary. It's like looking at an MRI of an infant inside the womb. But anyway, we're going into this next round where what?
I saw that on Twitter earlier. I showed it to my dad, and he lost his mind. He looked at it for a second, trying to figure out what it was.
They say that's why they do ultrasounds instead of MRIs, but that makes me want to do an MRI instead every time. I don't know, but whatever. Maybe it's too. Anyway, Elite has the round lead and the economical lead, as you can see Say getting operating hand. This is a big point that 2Inch couldn't deal with effectively on Breeze, and we'll have to see if they can do just that on Icebox pretty much right away. And I believe I've actually been Say's PC that was needing to be repaired, and looks like we're glad it happened, because we're going to see a 6-shot just like that immediately as this game goes back from the pause.
Now, I'm no expert, but I'm pretty sure PC worky now. Shout out to
like
Reno, by the way, who is one of our outstanding admins, helping us sub out the PC. Pit stop crew on site here for Nerd Street. Shen swinging and looking at a little bit of a, well, swing crew. I don't know. I don't have a reference for that one, unfortunately.
Hey, man. Can't all be bangers. They just get desensitized. It's not as exciting when they hit. Just like it's exciting that Choppa hit those shots on the sexy. And 2Inch keeps themselves a little bit in contention for this game, but Momiji shuts that down immediately. ×2. Could it be 3? And indeed, it is. Shutting down Acid in the pool of Acid. Fitting. As such, Leet up 3-1.
It's an outstanding showing from Leet again. Notably, Momiji, who cannot be killed. 4-1 thus far in this map, was popping off back on Breeze as well. Everybody on Leet's looking very good. Lineups being prepped. That was from spawn around towards B, just so you don't have to rotate that way, and you could still set up over towards A. Nice little bit of efficiency by Momiji, by the way. But Leet, if they don't lose this round, you're looking at 2Inch falling further behind than they can afford, and in a place where you have a map disadvantage and you're already losing in terms of rounds, you really cannot afford that. A 1-for-1 trade balances out, if I do say so myself. That one does not, as Newton drops.
This is a very similar situation that we saw last time. 3 versus 4. Momiji still alive. The allocation and positioning is different. It's kind of what we're talking about, how it just changes up. Making some adjustments round around, even if they're winning. But Acid was ready for potentially Momiji. Found Fireball, won the gunfight anyway, and with this cross through, upgrade the weaponry there, and Henry S in a perfect position, knows about the owl drone. The hop up, the timing's perfect.
Chris finding the kill. Again, opening up this B side. As we saw the previous time we went on to Icebox, B was the way to go for the attacking side. In goes the Viper's Pit. Snake bite there for Momiji, trying to open things up and do a little bit of damage, make everybody vulnerable. That time unsuccessful. The Sage Wall around the side puts everybody here on Leet in an awkward position. I say everybody, it's really just Momiji and Say. Momiji trying to initiate around the side, but all of the players here on 2Inch are playing inside of the Viper's Pit. The slow ward forcing them out, leaving it just a 1 versus 3 for Momiji. Won't find anything. Finally shut down is the Viper. A thrifty round for 2Inch, popping the ults and popping a round in their favor. Leet finally looking fallible.
50 and away. A lot of that was nice rotation timings from Henry. Acid getting a really big kill onto Fireball as well. Hasn't quite popped off the way that he did on Breeze, but whatever, man. It's 5 rounds in. We'll see how things go out as the game progresses. Ultimate's online for Leet, though, is a big talking point here, as the Viper Spit was used by 2Inch just to secure the flip 3-3 round, which, fair enough. I think that was a good call. Viper Spit now dropped for A site. Allocating resources is Elite towards mid, mostly with that wall being dropped as well, just locking down control and a lot of pressure being on Fireball's gun skill, whereas It's been utility to support the rest of the team elsewhere.
Momiji is an awkward position to be in. The judge is good for the Viper's Pit, but you have to find either the body shots or the close range headshots and make sure you don't get timing. A main's a good place to hold that down. Fireball looks for the headshot, doesn't get it, and understands, well, why take the gunfight? Oh, okay, never mind. Apparently doesn't understand that, and dies.
So yeah, that was basically the weak point of the defensive line for Elite, and 2Inch found it. It's a good job by them. Not weak point because of Fireball skill, but weak point because the utility wasn't quite there, and they found the kill. Numbnuts, though, doing exactly the same thing over towards mid, so a lot of this pressure points being lost from Elite. 2Inch pushing through. Momiji with amazing timing, might be able to catch it by surprise. The Aldrin goes over. Oh, Chopper guys.
Nice caught.
Had the sense of it.
The shock dart does not land. That should be the round. It is a 2 versus 5, and yes, Say has the Blade Storm out, but oh, misses. And now Sexy's left alone. It is a Sheriff, so the one-shot headshot potential is there, but you have to have bullets in the weapon in order to shoot and hit said one-shot headshots. They don't. We're tied. 2Inch bring it back and bring us right back to even. But I'm getting a little bit of deja vu back from Breeze because 2Inch lost 2 rounds in a row, brought 5 back the other way, and then Elite relatively ran away with the game from there. Does that happen again just with 3 rounds to open things up?
We'll see if,
Not in a row.
you know, if Elite loses this one, and maybe losing is another, and then takes time out, we'll see if that would be that tale of a repeat scenario. But right now, tied up. Night Say still finding success with the operator in hand. Was able to buy it back up this round. Will Fireball be ready for this? No, he will not. So Choppa, though, evens the playing field. That's a tuck screen being dropped for B site. That's the execution underway. And a lot of pressure on Momiji's shoulders to hold off the line until the rest of the team can rotate through.
That Viper's over such a well-placed position for it to be put. Momiji does force them around, forces Choppa into a precarious position, and Shen finding Isaac Newton jumping for joy because of that kill, and now leaving it to a 2 versus 4. Say continuing to get aggressive. Again, they are shut down because of it. Finally, we're seeing both Say and Fireball shut down because of a little bit of over-aggression. Henry S. close range. Momiji's trying to get aggressive. What? Gets the shot regardless. What is that flick? We weren't even on his POV. We still saw it. That's absolutely insane. Now leaving Numbnuts in a 1v3. 2Inch, this is not a position you want yourself to be in. He's getting baited by gunfire. Shen's on the flank. Free kill, and it's Momiji to get the kill because, you know, why me, right?
So, I don't think it's that much of a tilter because I don't think they knew how much of a flick last second, like, not even a full second they'd be dead, like last 10th of a second tops. That was so close for Momiji to get that kill. We saw that through the X-ray, and we're like, what the heck? I'd be tilted, but for all they know, it might have just been right on the angle. But still, keeping the round lead. Hunter's Fury available for 2Inch, though. Could be a nice pressure option to be able to get the rest of the team on the site. Say, though, taking a very aggressive angle, which they have been doing very consistently. Got them killed last round, but overall, they're up on the KD for doing exactly that kind of play style. Momiji on his timing for Henry S. doesn't want to push through the poison cloud. Wisely so, in my opinion. Yeah, Choppa beats out Say, though. Perhaps that's their answer to Say's operators. Get one of our own and beat them to it.
Anything you can do, I can do better. I can do anything a little bit more efficient than you, I think. Say, maybe topped for the first time thus far. It's a decent shock dart. Does a little bit of damage, not as much as they would like. But you're still looking at 2Inch who have a decent bit of control towards the A side. They've yet to cross the border of that ball. Shen in the back corner behind B1 needs to find more and is unsuccessful in doing so. The 1-for-1 trade is there. Sexy can try and find something, but the wallbangs just are not there. A good snake bite does almost 75 damage, if not more, across. and Momiji trying to put that through and continue to do so. The Sage being down means no heals are available here for 2Inch, and Leet can just aggress, but they also lack said heals. Both teams missing that resurrection they'd like in so dearly of a fashion. Momiji dropping Henry S, who was already low, looking to deny the push straight through. Isaac wants to, but Momiji does it themselves. In goes the Hunter's Fury. The fake, though, is there. Numbnuts, in goes the Hunter's Fury, on to absolutely nothing. It's now a 1 versus 3. The Shock Dart, it's too late. There's not enough HP being done. That should do it. Leet win it. On a retake, no less. Momiji with a 3K to boot.
2 rounds in a row, Momiji has this insane reaction speed flick to the head. Close quarters, just like that. It happened 2 rounds ago on B site near the screen, and just now happened again over to Isaac Newton across the toxic screen. That's insane. Like, if that player is on fire, your controller player is popping off, hitting crazy flicks like that, and that's the person who's like more of the anchor for the team, that's fantastic. That's fantastic for Elite. Something that 2I's got to deal with. We figured out how to deal with, say, a little bit, was just operator versus operator, and then we just went out that maybe half the time. That should be good enough, but now they gotta figure out how to deal with Momiji hitting crazy shots. No flashes to do so.
Isaac tries to match.
Wow.
Is unsuccessful in doing so. Numbnuts. Oh my goodness, Shens! The balls on this man to drop Numbnuts. I cannot believe it. There's no way he finds a double there. He backs away, gets the res. He's nuts. I'm sorry. He's numb.
Yep.
I've run out of adjectives.
Yep.
I'm starting to use player names.
Amen.
You will not
It was that exciting of a moment. A resurrection of their own, and Choppa answers right back. Say goes down for the second time in the round. Who's after having very fiery end to Breeze and a great start to Icebox's cooldown just a bit, it seems. The rest of the seems to be pretty well on form, especially Shin and Momiji thus far, the 2 Oni players coming into the squad. Henry S. Another great lurk timing, but Sexy was aware of it. Great situational awareness and presence of mind.
Shen's repositioning in towards this close angle. Sexy onto their second. Choppa with one of their own, but leaves Shen now in a 1 versus 1 on the site proper. A 4K for Shen. Of the 6 players alive throughout the round, one of them twice, obviously. And Leet double the lead of 2Inch, double the round count of 2Inch, and extend their lead to 3. You're looking at a very strong opening to this, and I really cannot believe the consistency we're seeing out of Leet through this map, through what we saw back on Breeze. They will not stop.
They definitely will not, and we can see on the screens there. In the bottom middle of the screen is actually, I believe, to be the Elite squad as Fireball and say things like that. It's where they were getting the PC issues adjusted and fixed earlier on. I believe that's Jorge looking to help out there. 1 green tea. Some more PC issues.
Yeah, that's the 1 green tea for all of you unfamiliar. It seems like they are going to filter out a PC. We have had some tech issues throughout the day, so they're going to filter out the PC, and I believe we are going to take a little bit of a break. Wait, maybe not. They're relatively quick with this. That's Reno, by the way, trying to lift that one up and over. Quick pit stop crew again here at Nerd Street. Look how efficient they are. It's outstanding to see.
It's literally like a pit crew. Tire off, tire on. Get those wires
They're prepping
plugged
for
in.
F1 next week.
Yeah, there you go. Some iRacing, Nerd Street iRacing. Are they starting that up?
Honestly, I would cast that. Hey Boone, if you want to start up Nerd Street iRacing or just F1, I'm in. They will start to filter things out though, quickly putting things through. I do like the speed about this. It's nice to see that we have the full staff in the background. Shout out to our full staff in the background, whether it be our observers, Reno, Raven and Sappho, our production squad, which is Will, First Night, and as you can see, everybody helping out the background. But we're still having some of those tech issues. We're gonna get everything rebooted. When we come back, I think Icebox should finish this time around, barring any more tech issues. We'll see in a bit.
Spacey ship. Spacey ship.
Attempt number 3 here on Icebox and Third Street Champs Fullerton LAN. Welcome back to our best of 3 coverage between Leet and 2Inch. 2Inch need a map win here on Icebox to force a third map of Ascent and attempt to move themselves on to the quarterfinals. Leet just need to win this map. They move on themselves. They're in a good position to do so. We finally got our technical issues resolved. Again, a massive shout out to our admin team in the background, Jorge, Boone, and Reno, keeping us going here on the production side of things and allowing us to bring you the amazing coverage you see. The tech pause should come to a close as we move on. I'm still timed light. I am still joined here by the outstandingly awesome Chad Lantis.
Oh my.
Chad, 9 rounds in. How you feel?
Feeling pretty good, man. I'm feeling like it's about time to wrap up the night on this last best of 3, but I'm down for another map. That's for sure. I wonder if 2Inch will be able to bring us there, as they have been falling behind overall. Say, having some PC issues. I believe it says rig, but overall still performing really well. So shout out to them for being able to do so. Tour de Force being popped by 2Inch. Fireball was not accounted for. Gets the frag on the spike holder of Acid and stalls off this approach, certainly.
Good positioning from Fireball, drops the spike, and takes some time off the clock, allowing this wall to, well, go down a little bit earlier in comparison to the spike timing, which has been retrieved, yet not planted. That's the issue you're going to see here for 2Inch. Henrius has been caught with the timing, though. The swing across, down they go. Say finds that timing and converts off of it. Leet in a great position. The dink across onto Choppa, who's on 10 HP. Momiji looking for that kill. Choppa does end up falling. Is Isaac Newton in a 1v5? No. Flawless for Leet as they continue their reign of dominance, even with the tech issues.
Completely cornered there. Just 2Inch just slipping a little bit on the cleanliness there. Didn't quite fully clear out yellow and didn't check for if Fireball would be holding off that angle. And with the rendezvous, was able to get out just fine with Fireball after the game that first frag. And from there, I love seeing that Shinsei push out from A, getting that angle that cornered those last two members of 2Inch as well, as they were getting frags of their own on the way into that situation too. So fantastic round from Lee all the way through, and 2Inch, it all started with just a little bit of a sloppy gameplay and still doing so, not expecting and reacting to the timing of these members of Lead, but they're answering back. In fact, we actually got the edge on this round. There's only one member left alive, as Momiji, who's been on form for this map, but will be form strong enough to be able to win out a 1v3 situation post-plant.
Looking for the head of Isaac Newton. Does not find the head, but finds the kill regardless. If they find another, they can pop the Viper's Pit, but needs to find a kill. Choppa's on a flank in through mid, trying to catch a timing, but it could go against them. The close angle held by Acid across towards heaven, finds the frag required. Momiji's dead. 2Inch win their fourth on the map, heading us into our final before the half split. It took them a little while for 2Inch to bring a round back, but with Fireball popping their ult, almost certainly you're going to see Say pop one of their own as well. Leet have a lot to work with here on the defensive side, including the Viper's Pit and the Resurrection, should they need to use it.
Yeah, overall, very dominant half. They have plenty of money to work with here for this final round. And we haven't seen the Resurrection yet. Not
Get
really.
out of my way.
Definitely a round that's in favor of Elites utility-wise, economically. Riders put already on the way, but didn't work out for them last time. It's go so far so good for them though. Luigi gets the first.
Still playing inside of their Viper's Pit that they correctly decided to use over towards the Say side. Unfortunately, 2Inch decided, let's continue to push straight into it. This time, Momiji does not have the judge, and aptly so, is gaining a lot of control because of it. Not a good position for 2Inch to push into, and an awkward spot for Momiji to stay in, trying to catch a timing. Sexy, the shot across. Henrius is dropped. They do finally drop Momiji. Down goes that Viper's Pit, but down goes Choppa. It's down to Acid. Not gonna happen. Leet pick up their 8th on the defensive side, and a strong showing by Leet on Icebox.
Fantastic whip over there by Sexy as well. It's hitting that 90-degree. Finished on the first frag. Whips over from the second, the final onto Acid, and finishes that half strong. Sexy, a player who hasn't had any, like, not a lot, I shouldn't say any, but not a lot of, like, insane pop-off moments, but has been a very consistent member of this team, reliable, which is exactly what you want to see from a Sova player, sitting up with the utility usage, getting a lot of information for the squad, and always being there consistent for them to trust. And now, going into this next half, it's Lee who had a very successful string of rounds on attack for the offensive side of things on Breeze. Well, that's all they really need for this time around. It's just 5 to close out the series.
I'm favoring Leet here. I really do not like 2Inch's chance, and it is the defensive side, which traditionally is kind of favored, but not as much as requiring an 8-4 or 9-3 split up against Leet. Because it's Leet. Need I say more?
Yes, that's a fair call. I'd say most people predict them to win from the start, and being in the lead on the second map when they won the first should be pretty easy prediction from here as well. But players like Numbnuts have something to say about that. getting a frag of their own, showing through. Isaac Newton, I don't know if he can quite fit through that, if they stall themselves. It's hard to tell in that angle, but what is easy to tell is they're not going to have a chance to this round because Sexy puts them down right away. That spike was being planted. A little bit of morale boosting in the actions of the players there as Momiji continues boosting morale even further by finding a frag of their own. Shen getting that chamber weak, firing off a crossfire with Say. It's all down to Choppa to have a chance on this round. That chance quickly went away. Shen finds the final frags, 9-4 for Elite.
If they win this, I think game's over. I'm not gonna lie to you. Not this round, the next round. Sorry, let me be a little bit more specific considering. But are they gonna buy a little bit? Wow, look at the decision on Elite. They're buying for this and next. An awkward position to be in if you are on the Elite side. Regardless of the outcome of this round, they'll be stuck on max about 3,000, 3,200 credits depending on the player. But you're in an awkward spot as a squad. Henry S is looking to get aggressive. They're walking straight into this. Right click lands, but does not get the kill. Choppa does across onto Momiji. That should be a rifle retrieved. It's a Spectre retrieved, not the Bulldog nor the Vandal. An awkward position for them. And it feels bad. Vandal enters Choppa.
Nice shots by Fireball, having an advantage weaponry as well. The pistols in hand for 2Inch can be a little tough to deal with, even though he has only light armor. Just Bulldogs, Phantoms, that's going to handle business pretty well on the anti-eco. That's exactly what happens. A very straightforward round, all things considered. Nothing too fancy to analyze. It's just move forward and see what we got for the next one. Moving up. His ultimates are pretty spread across the way. And, yeah, nobody's even close to like one of those power points. An ultimate ability come online. Everybody's kind of like halfway to the point. Buy up for 2Inch, and it's like you said, kind of buying for this round was Elite, but they're still kind of playing for the next because they have a lot of breathing room. There's no reason to do a crazy gamble, destroy the economy, give 2 rounds away to 2Inch instead of just one. Those kinds of situations.
I still have to favor Elite in this round. Yeah, they've had the overall disadvantage when they have the weapon disadvantage, but they gained a decent bit of control. The Viper's Orb in a good position.
Whoa.
That's an odd. Hold the phone. What was that crosshair? Whenever we go back to that, I'm addressing that again. I want to refer to
Isaac
that.
Newton.
What is this? Isaac Newton.
It's a bandage of an anime.
There's no way we haven't seen this crosshair yet. We've seen Isaac Newton before.
Definitely just changed to it, 100%.
He had.
Will
to,
they
he
even
did it during
see
tech pause.
Fireball if he go around the corner? Like, will the player character even be on the screen?
I don't think so. I really don't. That's a vertical position being held. Oh no, Henry's aware of it. That should be his kill. Nice shot from Say, plural at that. Sexy swinging on towards Choppa. And oh my goodness, Fireball catches the timing to end all timings, swinging as soon as he turns. That is Valorant. Welcome to first-person shooters, unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen. Fireball dropping numbnuts. It's down to a 1 versus 2. He's just waiting in the vertical position. Acid should die here every day of the week. If Acid wins this gunfight, I'm going to lose my mind. There's no way he should. Fireball is just waiting up above. The spike will go down. It should bait out the rotation, and Acid will die. 3K for Fireball. Elite onto 11.
Literally a checkmate positioning from Fireball. As would have to have the awareness of the gods. Literally, I have the All-Father there to actually have an understanding of where Fireball possibly could be. So yeah, great call, great position, great shots, great timing, great sixth sense by Fireball and the rest of Elite so far this whole entire map. Overall, I mean, 11-4 on the score line. They won out their bonus as well, destroying the economy of 2Inch. And right now, you see the buy down to a Glass Cannon Vandal is being considered because maybe they can go into like a Bladestorm option after this, something like that. But still, I mean, this is going to be a tough round to win. And it's likely going to go into a match point, especially with Say getting that first frag.
Acid just hit a headshot with a Sheriff from too far. It does 145 damage from whatever meterage and further. And Isaac does die. There goes one of those rifles. I think the only rifle they had, in all fairness. That should be the B site fallen as well. They over-rotate towards A. It's going to cost them the round. Sage wall dropped. Free spike plants. Get your free spike plants here, Elite. Only in Fullerton.
Here.
11-4 is the line. 4 alive is Leet. Up gets the 3 of 2-inch on the scene, and they haven't really gotten much as far as upgrades going. Still, there's pistols in hand, and being tagged and sprayed down through the toxic screen is a doomed situation for NES. It's had good timing so far this series, but not this time around. Good reaction by Chapa, getting right back, but can't quite get the frag. On top of that, Sexy swings through, but it says beats them to the punch. 5 HP, still finding the frags at the end of the round. Match point, series point for Leet.
They move on to the quarterfinals, assuming they pick this one up, but don't assume just yet. Isaac Newton, because of the previous Vandal buy, they'll go Glass Cannon Vandal again. Numbnuts should be able to buy armor and shields here. It depends on whether they want to try and buy utility. That's the issue you're running into if you are Numbnuts. I would opt for it, but even if you're 2-inch, you win every single round, or you win rounds continuously. You have to keep players alive in order to have that continuous win of rounds and spree of rounds. There goes Newton dropping Say early. The blade storm off the board to open things up, but so is Acid's face, along with Isaac's body. Numbnuts, the only one left alive on this A side, looking for whatever he can get, but in goes the Hunter's Fury. It'll drop him. Henry S on the flank, the information's there, but it does not matter. Henry S gets the kill across onto Sexy. Fireball's holding down the long angle. He finds the kill. Leet move on to the quarterfinals.